Hi guys, in this video we are going to learn something new, but it's going to be interesting for you guys and you are going to get many benefits from this after you watch the video. Please try this in your own and after that you will get benefits from this one. So without further delay, let's move on to the topic. So in this video we are going to discuss what's meant by the share and share market and how to invest in Sri Lankan share market, and we are going to guide you by step so you can easily follow that, and finally you can easily open a share market and you can easily trade through that account. So that's the simple explanation, the brief summary of this video. So we have already divided these parts into some portions, so if you like to watch or if you like to skip some of those parts, I have given the link in the description, so you can always use that. And one more thing, we are ready to publish a course regarding how to analyze the company's share as well as the share market trading analysis. So we are going to do a course regarding that and we are going to publish that very soon. Once in a future you can easily see that link in the description, so you can easily buy that and you can study that course, and after that you can easily get through that. So the next thing is, if you are new to this expert tutor channel, don't forget to subscribe it. So let's move on to the first topic. So our first topic is what is meant by the share. So when you are considering about a small business, let's say there is a street shop in your street. So what the investor, what the shop owner will do is, he has already invested an amount, a small amount from his own money, or sometimes he might get a loan from any other banks, a small loan, and after that he is going to invest in that shop, and after that he is going to continue their selling. So when you are considering about the public company, they are going to have a big investment which cannot be afforded by one investor. So what that investor is going to do is, he is going to list his company. So what that listing process is going to make is, what's going to happen after that listing is, the investors who are willing to invest in his company, they are going to buy some parts of the investment. Let's say he has already have a 1 million rupees with him, and after that he is going to build that company and they are going to widen that investment. Let's say they are going to widen that investment into 100 times. So he has already invested 1 million, but he need another 99 million for his business to build that business. So what he can do is, he can actually go for the public company. He need to register as a public company. After that, he is going to list that company in a share market. So in that share market, let's say the company name is Expert Tutor. So the share of that Expert Tutor, so what the company will do is, the investors can buy the shares, which means they can buy the ownership of that company by paying or by buying some shares of that. Let's say the company's value is 10 million worth now, and we have already invested 1 million on that. So there is another 9 million rupees. They need 9 million rupees so that they can easily build up the company little bit ahead. So what the investors can do is, the 9 million shares, they need 9 million rupees. So let's say the one share is for 10 rupees. So actually you can tell that if the company has 900 or 9 lakhs shares or 900,000 shares, the value of the 900,000 shares would be 9 million. So what the share market will do is, they are going to sell 900,000 shares for the public. So the public will do is, they are going to buy some of the shares. Let's say one public person like me is going to buy 10 shares of that. Likewise, another one is going to buy 1,000 shares. Another one will buy 1 million shares. Likewise, all people are going to buy that. I extremely sorry, I have told only 900,000 shares. So the one who is have a lot of money, if he is willing to buy a lot of shares of that company, let's say he's going to buy another 50,000 shares. Likewise, many publics are going to invest in that single company. So the piece of that one share, the one value of that investment is known as share. The little bit of that investment, the smallest amount of that investment is known as share in public companies. And also some of the public companies cannot be listed. So if the investor is willing to go for a share market, he should list that company. And the problem is there are many covenants, and which means they are going to face many obligations to do the law regularities. There are many more restrictions when you are doing the public company. So the smallest part of that company is known as share. So I hope this part would be clear for you. If you have any doubts, please comment it below. So this is the time to move for the next part. Next part is, what's the uses of shares when you are considering about an investor? Actually, let's say from your childhood, your parents will already signed an account, already created a bank account in your name, and after that they are going to deposit some money into that account, bank account. In the small stage, you are going to get some interest of that. Let's say you are going to invest, the bank amount you are having is 1 lakh. The interest would be little bit 1% or 3% per annum. So for every year you are going to get 3% of that deposited amount, like a compound interest. So what's the use of this share? If you invest that money in the share market, let's say you are going to buy some shares of that bank, so it would be more useful for you rather than investing in a bank account. So you need to think like that. So rather than depositing in a fixed account, whether it would be useful if you can invest in a share market. So that's the point you need to get in. So what are the useful of share? If you are investing in a bank account, you are going to get an interest, and other than that, nothing. The amount, the parent amount is not going to increase, but you are going to get some interest on that amount, the deposited amount. Likewise, when you are having a shares, you are going to get a value, a rate, or it's like a rate, which is known as dividend. So let's say what's meant by the dividend is the company will earn profit every year. So the profit will be distributed to their shareholders. The shareholder simply means if you own a share or more shares, but if you own a share of that company, you are going to be known as shareholder of that company. So if that company earns a profit, you also have a right to get that profit. So that's known as you are going to get a dividend. So if a company earns a profit, you are going to get a dividend from that share. So that's one point. Other than that, there might be a share appreciation. What that means is, if you are buying a share, let's say you are buying a share for 80 rupees. After some times, after 2 or 3 months, the company is performing very well. So that what other people will do is they like to invest in that company. So other people, the demand of that share will increase in 2 or 3 months. So what the price of the share, what happens to the price of the share is it's going to increase. So that's known as the share appreciation. So in these two types, you are going to get a benefit from share. If you invested in a share or in a share market, you are going to get a dividend, and after that you are going to get share appreciation as well. Let's say if you bought a share for 80 rupees, and if you are after 2 months, the price of that share is going to be 100 rupees. So if you sold that share at that time, you are going to get 20 rupees more. Other than that, if you hold a share for a certain period, so normally the company will pay out their dividends annually. The most companies will pay annual dividend. Some will be paid quarterly. So it depends on their company. So once you are holding up to that period, up to their financial accounting period, you are going to get some dividend too. So there are two methods. So this is the use of share. So actually, if you invested in a good company, you are going to get these two. Otherwise, sometimes let's say there is a corona pandemic like that in the future. So if you invested in a hotel tourism industry or hotel company, so actually we knew that the tourism, the number of tourists will decrease in that period if there is a corona pandemic or any pandemic in the future. The tourism industry will fall down. So at that time what will happen is the market price of that share will reduce because anyone want to invest in that company, and also the profit of that company will decrease, so that the dividend you are getting paid will also decrease. So these are the things you need to concern before buying the share. So you need to analyze what the company is and whether the company will perform better in the future. So you need to see the future and what the company is doing and what's their profit. So you need to analyze these things before you are buying those shares in that company. So this is our end of the second topic. So this is the time to move to our third topic. Let's go. So in the third topic, we are going to discuss what's meant by the share market and what's the specific name, what's meant by the Colombo share market. So what's the mean by the share market is there are many companies who are willing to get their investing money, so investment from many other investors who are willing to buy their shares. They will be going to the share market and list their company so that any other investors, public investors who are willing to buy their shares from a particular company, they can go to the share market and buy through that. So that's the process that's the action done by a share market. So what's meant by the Colombo share market is actually in several countries there are many, or in every country they are going to have a share market. So in London or America there might be one share market. Likewise, in Sri Lanka there is a share market. So that name of that share market is known as Colombo share market. Actually, it is located in Colombo city. So that's why we are going to call as Colombo share market, which means the companies, the public listed companies which are registered in Sri Lanka, you can buy the shares from that companies in Colombo Stock Exchange. It's known as Colombo Stock Exchange, Colombo share market. So there are many names. So actually you need to know the share market. The basic action of share market is it's going to connect investor and the companies of that country. So this is the end of the third part. Let's move to the fourth one. So in this part we are going to have the basic requirement. We are going to see some basic requirements and we are going to see the basic steps what you should do to create an account in the share market and how to move ahead. So when you are considering about the Colombo share market, we need to create an account in that share market. So that account is known as CDS account. So when you are going to register, or when you like to invest in a share market, first of all you need to apply for a CDS account which is provided by Colombo Stock Exchange. So the first thing you need to do is you need to fill out the form of CDS account. So I have given the link in the description so you can easily download an CSE app, which means Colombo Stock Exchange app. After that you can find a link of create CSE account or CDS account. So after that, if you click that CDS account, there will be a form. So you need to fill out that form, give your truth information. So they will ask the NIC, national identity card number, the bank address and some of the bank receipt like that. So you need to give all the information they are asking about. And at at the end they will ask what the broker you are going to trade with. So what's mean by that broker? So we need to know what's mean by that broker, otherwise it would be little difficult to move along. So once you fill that application, we are going to see it in a later part. So once you click that, select that broker's company's name, and after that you are going to apply for a CDS account. After few days, some working days, 2 or 3 working days, you will be, if there are any wrongs in your application, you will be get registered a CDS account successfully. Otherwise they will mention the problem and they will ask to resend that application. So they will send this result to your email account. So this is how you can select or how you can create your own share market CDS account. It's very simple, it's totally free. So I have given the link of that app in the description, so you can now onwards try that and get registered with a share market account. So now let's move on to our 5th topic. Now the 5th topic is what's meant by the broker and why we need them. So actually there is investors and there is a share market full of companies who are willing to provide their shares, who are willing to sell their shares. So what the broker will do is they are going to connect these two people. So that's the point where the broker come inside to play. So when you are considering about the broker, there are many brokers. There are some private companies who are acting as brokers. Some others are public companies who are acting as brokers. So you need to find a good broker. But the thing is, most probably you can see that brokers list in a CSE website, Colombo Stock Exchange website. I have given the link. So once you go to that website, you can see several brokers' name. I think at this time there are 14 brokers who are providing this broker service in share market. So if you are willing to do any share market, if you are willing to create any share market account, you need to go with this broker. In the previous part, we have already learned when you are filling the CDS account, you need to select the broker. So in this part, we are going to discuss what's meant by the broker and why we need that broker. After, in the next part, we are going to discuss how to select a good broker. So actually here we need to understand the broker is a company which is going to connect investor with the company who are selling their shares and who are listed in the stock exchange, Colombo Stock Exchange, and they are going to connect these two parties. And the best thing is, if you are going to any of the share brokers in our country, they are going to charge a fixed percentage. Whether you're going to the first, let's say there are many, so I can remember some of them. So one is Keels, I think Keels Holding like that, and another one is First Capital Equities. So when you are considering about these two, they are going to charge a fixed rate when you are trading with the share market, with the CDS account. Let's say you are going to buy a share, 100 shares which worth of 80,000 rupees. So you need to give a certain percentage to that broker company. What the broker company will do is they are going to divide that share, the percentage, they are going to divide that commission. Let's say it's approximately 1% and it's same for every broker company. So you don't need to get panic or get fear of whether that broker company will charge a lot than other broker company. It's going to have a same charge. So that's a good point. And once they get that, let's say for the 80,000, it's nearly 800 rupees. Approximately it's 1%. So let's say the 800 is a commission. So they are going to divide that 800 rupees into several pieces. Some of them will be taken by that broker company. After that, some of the part will be allocated to Colombo Stock Exchange, and some some of the part will be allocated for CDS account, and there are many other institutions which are working together to run this transaction. So they are going to provide some of the parts to those every institution which are working together in this transaction. So it's going to be a fixed percentage. So remember, the old brokers, and you need to take a look what are the broker company, and you need to decide what broker company are you going to go with. So for that reason, we are going to do a chapter in the next part, and we are going to see how to select a good broker firm. So let's move on to that. So when you are considering about the broker companies, as I have already mentioned, you can see the list of the broker companies in the Colombo Stock Exchange website, which I have given the link in the description. So what the broker company does is, they are going to help to do the transaction between the investor and the company, public company, or the share market. So when you are considering about the share market, how to select a good broker is, they are going to they are going to have the same charges, and they all are trustworthy. So what things you need to consider is, some of them are going to have some covenants, which means some restrictions. Let's say, actually in this time, if you are going to go with First Capital Equities brokers, you need to pay a 50,000 deposit. But remember, you can trade with that 50,000 rupees after you get the CDS account. But initially, you need to invest 50,000. You need to start trading with the 50,000 rupees. Likewise, if you are going with Keels or Cargills, I think, I'm not sure about that, I think Keels. So if you are going with Keels, you need to invest 2 lakhs first of all. After that only you can start your trading. Likewise, first of all, you need to invest that amount. It's different for several companies, several broker companies. So you need to check with that. How you can check that is, actually once you find the name of that broker company, and you can search that in Google, and after that you are going to get their contact number, and after that you can directly ask them how much you need to invest at the beginner stage, and after that for the trading purpose. So that's the thing. So the first thing is, you need to investigate what's the investment you need to make for their first transaction in the share market. So after that, the second point is, okay, there are several platforms to do the share market transactions. There are worldwide, the platforms are used by the worldwide users, but these platforms are used by our brokers too. So what they will do is, they are going to give some platforms. Let's say, what mean by the platform is, actually we knew that Amazon and eBay are providing the same services, which means the people can buy the products from other people who are willing to sell that product. Likewise, eBay is going to do like that. But the thing is, it's going to look different, little bit different, and it's going to offer by the design of that website, and the service of that website is offered by another company. Likewise, there are several platforms like Amazon and eBay for the e-selling. Likewise, online selling like that. When you are considering about the share market, there are many platforms, like some of them are A-Trade. So A-Trade platform is going to offer that transaction service, the share market transaction service for that broker. Likewise, there are several platforms. So in my case, I'm using First Capital Equities, and I'm using A-Trade platform, and it's easy to use. Likewise, there are many platforms. Some companies, some broker will provide some of them. Some of the, like Keels, will provide all of the platform available in Sri Lanka. So likewise, some it might be differ from broker to broker. Some might provide 2 or 3 platforms too. So actually they will ask what platform you like to use. So actually I'm using is the A-Trade platform. You can use any other platforms. It's very easy. You need to click the buy and you need to see the share of that company. You need to see the company name, and after that you are going to click buy and how many shares. That's a simple thing, but you can do through different platforms. So if you are willing to go with one platform like A-Trade platform, you need to ask the broker company whether they are providing the A-Trade platform for share market. Actually in our country, the most of the broker companies are providing with the A-Trade platform. So there are many other platforms too. So these are the 2 things you need to concern before choosing your broker company. So this is the end of this part. So let's move to the next one. So now we are going to see what's the procedure of your first investment. So now you have filled the form of CDS account, and also you have already chosen the correct broker. Actually I used First Capital Equities. Likewise you can use any other brokers who are, you can see that list in the link I have given in the description. So after few days you will receive an email from the CDS account that you have created an account successfully with the number. There will be a number like a bank number for your bank account. There will be an CDS account number for your CDS account. So after few days you will receive an email from your brokers too. If you don't receive any emails from the brokers, you need to call them and ask. They will ask your CDS account number, whether you have already created a CDS account, and after that they will ask their number, and after few times they will send a mail from their side. So in that mail, let's say most of the companies, so most of the brokers will ask for an initial payment. As I have already mentioned, First Capital Equities will ask 50,000 rupees as a deposit. So what you should do is, sometimes they might send some agreements to fill out with that. So you need to take print out and you need to fill that application. For the applications will be sent by the brokers. Sometimes it's not always. So sometimes some companies will send the applications form. So you need to fill out that. In the final part, they will give a bank account details of that broker company, and they will ask to deposit that amount to that account, and after that send the slip with your reference number. Let's say for the First Capital Equities, there is a bank account with the account holder name First Capital Equities Private Limited. So what you are going to do is, you need to go to that bank, let's say HNB. Otherwise you can easily do through the online transaction, online banking too. If you are willing to go to the bank, you can go to the bank, and you need to take a slip, and you need to fill the account details correctly, and you need to put the reference number. In the reference number, you need to put the CDS account number. Let's say one CDS account number is 15442, like that. So when you are filling that slip, you need to put 15442 at that reference number. So you don't need to mess up with that. Otherwise, if you forgot to do that, don't need to get fear. You can easily call them and you can tell that I have already deposited, but I have forgotten to put the reference number on that slip. So they will arrange that. So don't worry about that. So once you fill that, you need to deposit that amount into that bank account. After that, get a photo of that slip, and you have to mail it to the relevant broker. So what the broker will do is, after some times they will provide with you as, let's say if you are having an A-Trade platform, they will send a username. The username would be the account number of CDS account most probably, and after that they will ask to make a password for that. So they will send a link for that transaction. This is normally, let's say when you are starting from the first capital equities, they are going to send a trade capital like that, a trade capital first capital equities. So otherwise a trade first capital equities, I think. So they will send a link like that. So it's going to use the a trade platform, buy the first capital equities. So that's the, you can see that from the URL of that website. So you need to get into that, and after that you are going to use that user credentials they have sent, and you need to change the password of that. And after that, if you log into that, you are going to get a page where you can see all of the companies which are listed in Colombo share market. And you can also see if you logged between 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So there will be an active participation of transactions. So you can see that green and red signals are going upwards, and there might be many share quantities as well. So you can see like that. So if you are willing to check what's the money is into that CDS account, you can go to the options and you need to check what's the balance you are having into your account. So if you see that, you are going to see that 50,000 is in your account. From that, using that, you can easily buy the shares. So this is the end of this part. So we are going to move to the next. So when we are considering about buying the shares, actually I have already mentioned that when you are initially depositing, let's say you have deposited 50,000 rupees, in that balance in the CDS account, you will be shown a 50,000 balance. After that, you will be seen some amount, let's say 10,000 rupees. So what's mean by that additional amount is the CDS account, the Colombo Stock Exchange will give you some additional loan for you, which means in a certain time, let's say there is you are willing to buy a share of commercial bank and it's now 80 and it's going to, let's say it's going to increase and it's gradually increasing in front of your eyes. So what in our mind, what the reaction in our mind is, we need to buy it now, otherwise we will lose the appreciation of that share. So in that mind, what we will do is, let's say we are going to buy some share or 300 shares. So actually we knew that, so it's not going to be like that. So let's say 600, 700 shares like that. So 700 shares, but actually you can't buy using that 50,000 rupees. So what the Colombo Stock Exchange will do is, they are going to give some additional amount like a loan, but interest-free loan. So let's say you can buy up to that limited amount. Let's say you are having a balance of 50,000 and let's say they have already put an amount of 8,000 or 9,000. So you can buy up to 59,000 now. So they are going to provide an interest-free loan to you. So you can actually see that in the balance. So let's say you have deposited 50,000 and you have given a balance of a credit of 9,000. You can use that when you are buying that. But the thing is, after the 2 days between before that 2 days, you need to settle that amount, which means, let's say I have bought the shares for 58,000, so I need to pay that 8,000 rupees again to that brokerage company. So what I can do is, I need to go for the bank account, or I need to credit the amount again. Let's say I'm going to deposit another 50,000 again into that share market account. Once I do that, I need to send a receipt, send a photo of that receipt to the brokerage company, and what will they do is, they will add that amount in the CDS account, so that you don't need to the loan amount will be deducted from that 50,000. Let's say the 8,000, right? So the loan amount will be deducted from that 50,000. So you are going to get a new balance of 42,000. Rather than that, you can always get another loan amount. Let's say for 50,000 it's 9,000 like that. So for 40,000 it's going to be 7,200, a certain percentage of that amount you are having as a balance. But the thing is, if you forgot to invest, or if you forgot to return that money before the 2 days, the CDS account, what the CDS account will do is they will be automatically sell some of your shares, and they are going to get that loan amount. So let's say you need to sell a 45 shares which is valued 9,000 rupees. So what they will do is they will automatically sell that 45 shares of that commercial bank. After that, they are going to settle with that loan. So you need to deposit within that 2 days. So you need to be concerned about that loan. But however, you can use that, you can utilize that when you are having a, when you are looking a big amount in front of your eyes. So you can always use that, it would be more useful for you. So this is the end of this part. So we are going to move to the next one. Now the question is how to invest or how to select a good company is actually you need to have a basic understanding of their financial statement and what the company is doing. Otherwise it would be a little bit difficult. The thing is, don't invest if you don't know anything about that company. You are seeing a company name, you can't see a total company's name, you will see a short name of that company, a short symbol like that. For commercial bank, they are going to use a symbol of COMB. So you are going to see that COMB. After that, you need to choose whether you are going to buy the preference share or ordinary shares. Normally we will buy ordinary shares because you are going to get a dividend according to their profit. If you buy a preference share, you are not going, the share profit will be fixed throughout the years. So that's why normally also you will be get the voting rights if you bought ordinary shares. So these are some benefits if you are moved with ordinary shares. So you need to see that company name, and after that you need to select whether you are going to buy preference or preference shares or ordinary shares. And after that you need to select the amount. They will show the total amount you need to pay by adding the commission. So you need to click the buy button after that. So if you do so, you are going to get that share. So always you can actually set a price. Let's say the price of that, the investor is willing to sell that share for 84 rupees, and the investor is ready to sell that share for 84.2 rupees. So now the buyer is asking for 83. There are many buyers, so the highest bid is for 83 rupees. One buyer is willing to buy the share for 83 rupees. So actually at that point, what you can do, if you are willing to buy that share anyhow, you can put the amount of 84 rupees and click buy button. So you can get whole shares which you need from that seller who is willing to sell that share for 84 rupees. So these are the sequence is going to happen throughout your transaction. So when you are trading in that platform, you will be easily understand what they are. So these are the things you need to identify before that. So the main thing is you need to analyze these companies, because sometimes, let's say you are seeing a company, a name in front of your eyes in that website, and the prices of that, the share price of that company is gradually increasing very fast. Every second the price of that is increasing. So you don't need to, you shouldn't invest in that without knowing what the company is. So if you do so, sometimes after 2-3 minutes it might gradually decrease to a lower value. So you need to understand why, you need to check why the price of that company is increasing or why the price of that company is decreasing, whether you can invest in that company now, and you need to analyze whole thing before you are investing in that company. So we have already done a course for how to analyze that company is a good company. So if you are willing to buy that course, I have given the link in the description, so you can always use that. It's very cheaper, and I hope it would be useful for you when you are trading with a big amount. So this is the end of this part. So we are going to move to the final part. So the question which will be asked by the most of the people would be how to withdraw the money from the CDS account. Let's say you have 50,000 rupees and you have already bought the shares for 48,000. Now you are going to have 2,000 in that balance, also 48,000 as a share, and it might be appreciated in a few time. So let's say you are going to sell that amount, the whole share, so you are going to get like 54,000. Already you had 2,000 rupees, so totally you are going to have a new balance of 56,000 rupees. So once you sell that shares, automatically the broker will send all of the amount which is remaining in your CDS account to your bank account, which you have already provided when you are opening the CDS account. If you are willing to change your bank account details, you need to send send an email to them, the broker company, so that they could change that account details of yours. So the thing is, when you sell any of your shares, the amount that remaining in your balance, let's say we have already sold the shares for 54,000, but the amount remaining in that CDS account is 56,000. So they are going to credit all the 56,000 and they are going to deposit in that bank account we already provided. So sometimes if you are selling that shares but you are going to reinvest in another shares, so you need to wait for some time. You are not willing to get that amount back. So in that case, you need to send an email to them, to broker, that I'm not willing to get this money, so please hold this money, I'm going to buy again. So you can easily communicate with your broker. They will speedily respond to that. So another thing is, the broker company will give a person for you guys. So let's say there will be many players, the many employers who are working under the broker company, so they will give a responsible your part to one of them. So you actually need to communicate with them always. So let's say if you deposit that money into that CDS account, you need to send that receipt to this particular person in that company, and with that you need to send to that company. So you need to send mail to two of them, so that it would be a trustworthy process, so you can easily show anything if anything worse happens. So you can easily show these things. So you need to send, it's better to send for these two people, for broker company as well as the particular person which was assigned by that broker company. So this is the end of the final part. So I hope you have learned a lot from this video session. So if you are buying to buy our course about fundamental analysis of share market, particularly Colombo share market, so I have given the link in the description, and please share this video with your friends and start to invest from now. But careful, check the company, analyze the company, and after that get involved in that company. So all the best guys, do a great job in your future. Thank you.